Salute, Booktube. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. We are at volume 9, I believe, of my series celebrating Booktubers. I've lost count of how many of these celebrating Booktube videos I've made. I've even forgotten why I'm doing it, but I'm continuing anyway. Today, I want to celebrate another good booktube friend, a longtime booktube friend, and a very prolific booktuber, a very interesting booktuber, and that is Julie at Bookish Travels. Now, Julie's channel is a little bit unique in that she doesn't just discuss books like all of us do, but she, and is I think indicated by her channel name, Bookish Travels. Um, it her she combines her book reading with travel, and that's a very exciting and very interesting concept, I think. And yeah, you should definitely check out her channel. I will link it below. Um, yeah, just subscribe to her. I believe she is very close, very close. I think 50 subscribers or 60 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So please do check her out. Do subscribe. I'm not a big channel booster. I'm a small channel myself, but if we can push her to 1,000, I think she'd appreciate that. Um, Once you do go to Julie's channel, Bookish Travels, again, you're gonna find a whole lot of you're gonna find book reviews like a lot of booktubers do, but you're also gonna find a lot of travel videos. And just recently, I've been looking at some of and watching some of Julie's recent videos. She's done an exciting trip to Canada on her last trip, and that was very exciting. Us booktubers were very boring, so we, we have challenges like let's read 50 books before we turn 50, or 60 before 60, or 30 before 30. Julie's taken that to the extreme. She's got this goal. One of her goals in her video is 60 to do 60 like adrenaline challenges before she reaches the age of 60, which is um, that much more fun than just listening to an old booktuber, try to read 50 books before they turn 50 or whatever. But yeah, she did, I think, challenge number one of the 60, which was to go. You got to watch the video. If I remember, I'll link it, but you'll find it on her channel. She goes to Niagara Falls in Canada, and she goes on the that there's like a boat trip you can take where they literally take you like, behind the falls, like you get um, deluged with water, and you just watch the video. It's very interesting, and Julie vlogged it, and all of her vlogs are really good. Even at her older, if you go to her back catalog, what she does is she reads a lot of English history and English historical fiction. I think those are her two specialties, but she reads everything. But with the historical fiction and the history, she's able not just to read the book, but to go and visit the places because Julie is English. And there was a prompt a few videos ago, a couple of videos ago, where they asked, "What is a place you recommend somebody to go?" The question was a book or a place. So I recommended at the time the question. I recommended Egypt. I thought Egypt is just this great outdoor museum, and the ancient Egyptian and also the medieval Egyptian and also the Belle Epoque sort of 19th century Art Deco Egypt. All of it is really beautiful and should be seen. But my second choice, and I was debating, is was either going to be Egypt, which I ultimately chose. But the other option was England or Britain in general, because that's another example of just one big outdoor museum. I guess France would be there too, but England, because England is nice because it's small and you can get to places quickly. But again, so much history and a lot of it's still maintained. So you get that vibe, you get that, you see that with Julie's channel because it's like I said, she reads books, but then she also travels, and then where she can, she mixes the two. So it's a very interesting concept for a channel. It's a very entertaining channel. Like I said, she's got the 60-60 challenge, 60 before she's 60, not reading books, but doing some extreme, hardcore, extreme adventure. Good luck with that, Julie. Also, she's close to 1,000 subscribers. Let's push her over the edge. Good luck with that as well, Julie. I was gonna do this again, since you're a big adrenaline junkie now. You put the books to the side. Um, so what I thought I would do for this channel, for myself, because in addition to the traveling and the adventures and all that good stuff, Julie still is a booktuber and a like all of us, just a book fanatic. And she did a lot of recently. She discussed two series which I actually own the books for. So I was very happy to see that she had discussed them, um, and that I own those same books. So I thought I would just discuss the same series, and then you should definitely watch Julie's videos because well, A, she's more entertaining, and B, she's probably read more of them than I have. I have these, but I haven't read, especially the first series. Uh, so the first series, unfortunately, I watched Julie's videos yesterday, and I was supposed to film this yesterday, but I fell asleep. I was just too tired to film, so I decided to do it the next day. So I watched the video, and now I've forgotten. There are two series by the same author, and I don't know now which one is which and what it's called. Maybe, well, it's probably written here. Anyway, the author, I'll show you the author because, again, Julie is in the midst of reading this, and she received an advanced copy of this author's newest book because she's a big time booktuber now, almost at 1,000 subscribers, and she does good reviews without spoiling. And the publisher sent her a advanced copy, so I don't have this latest one, but the author, I'll actually show him now, is Rory Clements. Um, so again, I don't know which series is which. I should have checked this before I started recording, but I'll show you one of the books. Actually, this is a book. I think this one. Which one did Julie show on her channel? I believe it's this one, Nucleus. And as you can see there, there's the what's that cross? It's like the Nazi cross. I don't know what it's called. But Rory Clemens is he's a spy sort of historical thriller writer. These are historical fiction thrillers set in World War II mostly and pre-World War II. This was June 1939. England is partying like there's no tomorrow, but the good times won't last. The Nazis have invaded Czechoslovakia. In Germany, Jewish persecution is widespread, and closer to home, the IRA has embarked on a bombing campaign. Um, and that's the overall, like the world, the historical world being built. But then there's a story, there's a protagonist, and I don't want to read it because it'll go on, and I've got actually quite a few of his books. But I was interested. I picked up Rory Clements because I myself want to write about this era. I also have a historical thriller in my head that I'm hoping to write and to publish. Now, this is, I believe, it says here England, Czechoslovakia, Germany, the IRA in Ireland. So this is, and I believe his books are more Europe based. Mine is also World War II and the Nazis and the Allies, the Axis and the Allies, but mine is based in the Middle East, so that's the difference. But I was intrigued by this book because it was getting good reviews, and Julie herself confirms she gives us or his works ringing endorsements herself. So that's one reason I got it, and also I wanted to compare my writing with his, and maybe get some ideas or just understand the tone, the mood, the what's the word, yeah, the tone of the book, the atmospherics of 1930s Germany, 1930s England, perhaps, World War II, sort of atmospherics. So that's why I was intrigued by this, and glad to know Julie likes this author too. And so I think from the same series, this is even before. I should have put this one first. This is from it's set 1936, so this is Corpus. So we have Corpus, 1936, the war has already begun. 1936, Europe is in turmoil. The Nazis are on the march. In Russia, Stalin has unleashed his great terror. Spain has erupted into civil war. In Berlin, a young English woman evades the Gestapo. So again, I just read the first paragraph, which is the overall scene, but then there's a protagonist, which appears to be a young English woman. So we have Corpus. We have Nucleus, and then there's this one. I don't know where this stands in the series. This one is Nemesis. Uh, in a great English house, a young woman offers herself to one of the most powerful figures in the land, but this is no ordinary seduction. On holiday in France, Professor Tom Wilde discovers his brilliant student Marcus Marfield, who disappears 2 years earlier to fight in Spain. Who disappeared 2 years earlier to fight in Spain in a camp near the Pyrenees. Wilde secures his release just as the German tanks roll into Poland. So I guess the order would be Corpus, then Nucleus, then Nemesis. Julie might be able to correct me in the comments below. And then I have more Roy Clements again because I like the period because I'm writing about this period, so I'd like to compare myself with others. I guess I don't know if that's healthy, but so this one is called. I don't know if it's the same series, but it's called Hitler's Secret. They will kill to keep it. That's a autumn 1941. So this is well into the war. I just don't know. Okay, well here it's came Professor Tim Wilde, and that we saw that name. Professor Tim Wilde is here as well. Do we see? Yeah, Professor Tim Wilde. Professor Thomas Wilde. Tom Wilde. Thomas Wilde. So we've got Corpus. We've got Nucleus, Nemesis, and then Hitler's Secret. The only thing is this is a bit of a different edition. This is a bigger paperback, and these are like trade paperbacks. And Julie was talking about that, she wants them all in a uniform. She's a bit of a book collector. She'd like them in a uniform sort of edition, and hers are also mixed up. I'll get back to the subject of different editions a little bit later, but the next one I have of Roy Clements is A Prince and a Spy. Again, you see a lot of the Nazi sort of paraphernalia. See, that's the Nazi eagle. We talk about the Nazi cross. I don't know why there's a Statue of Liberty here. It looks like the Statue of Liberty. This one has a chess, kind of like a chess king, but that's also the Nazi cross. Is it called the Iron? The German Iron Cross? I don't know, but again, you get the idea, the settings. This one is Sweden 1942. Is our friend Tom? Yes, with no evidence, Canberra spy Tom Wilde. Okay, so Professor Tom Wilde makes. So this is again the same series, and again you'll see these two are the same kind of editions, but these paperbacks are different. So, and then I've got one more. Is it the same series? This one is again Rory Clemens. This is Munich Wolf. How do you hunt a killer they don't want you to find? So again, this thriller, murder mystery set in a historical setting. Munich 1935. Okay, and this is okay. So this is a different series, and this is the one Julie highlights. So that's the Tom Wilde series. This is the Detective Sebastian Wolf. So this is the Wolf series. So again, you see the Nazi SS sort of insignia. So this is a new series. I think this is the second series, and this was Roy Clements' first series. The ones I just showed you, the Tom Wilde. So yeah, again, I think this is the one Julie mentions, and she has volume 2. There's a volume 2 to the series, and she got an advanced copy of volume 3 again because Julie is a big booktuber, a major influencer with close. Let's get her to 1,000 subscribers. So there's that. The second series that Julie has recently highlighted on our channel, and she combined it with her trip to Canada. Again, Julie's just, sailing across the torrents of the St. Lawrence Cataract that is Niagara Falls is not enough for Julie. She also was able to load an ancient rifle, not an ancient, but an antique rifle from the 19th century, from the sort of Revolutionary War, sort of War of 1812, Napoleonic era rifle, and she gets to you see it. She watch the video. If I remember, I'll link to it. You'll find this on her channel. And she was doing that because she was also, she is also in the midst of reading the Bernard Cromwell Sharp series. Her first book she read was this one, Sharp's Tiger. And I have this book. And I actually have a lot of book in the series because it comes well recommended. I actually read this one, A Sharp's Tiger. I have it on my Kindle, and I read it. I gave it a 7. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I don't know. I wasn't. There were parts of it that were good, but people, they just love this book. So I think I'm going to give it a second try, and I think the series gets better as it goes on. I think I don't need to stop here. I need to keep going. And luckily, what I did was I have a lot of many of the books in the series. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's go through them one by one. Actually, this is the edition I prefer. I like this one. So these ones I don't read. You can see it's almost in mint condition. Um, these ones I like to keep as a shelf. It's on this side of my library. It's not shown on camera, but these are nice as a shelf display copies. They're display copies. I don't have the entire set, but I do have quite a few of them, so we can go through them one by one. I just like the sort of classic look. It goes nice with the wooden shelves, the wooden panels of my library. So that was Sharp's Tiger. That was the first one. I think the second in the series, and Julie, she mentions this, or she asks this on one of her videos. Does she say, do you read the Sharp series in historical order, or do you read it in publication order? And that's a question I have as well for you. I mean, for any historical fiction series, or even if it's a fantasy that has a chronological, do you read it in publication order, or do you read it in historical order? I think I have it now in publication. I don't know if this is in chronological or publication, but anyway, this is number 2 in the series. This is Sharp's Triumph. Then we have Sharp's Eagle. I'll go through these quickly because we can be here forever. Sharp's Havoc. Oh, I have a second copy of Sharp's Havoc. This one's got the sticker. I'm afraid to remove it, but I have a double. I can get rid of one. Oh, I've got a triple. 3 Sharp Havocs. I'll see which one is the best, and I'll get rid of 2. Sometimes I go to the bookstore and I'm like, do I have this one or do I not? So I'm not sure, so I end up buying. I have Sharp's Fortress. Again, you can imagine these are all lined up. They're lined up on the wall on one of my shelves. It just looks nice. Sharp's Trafalgar. Again, I apologize if I just started talking about the Sharp series as if everybody would know what this is. It's by Bernard Cornwell, and it's Sharp is it's a Napoleonic era British armyman. He's in the British Army, and he just goes on adventures, and they're set during the Napoleonic Wars that were fought between Britain and France. Again, Julie, you should see her channel. She films an interesting historical a video based on a historical Canadian fort in Ontario, Fort Erie, if I'm not mistaken, which was a fort during the War of 1812 between the United States and Canada, which was British North America, which became Canada. What is interesting is this era, which is the War of 1812 and the Napoleonic era, were almost at the same time. The question is there any Sharp books that were set in America? I don't believe so. I think most of them are in India and then in Spain, because it was a big India, Spain, and maybe Portugal. I don't know if there's any Sharp books in America. If I'm mistaken, or if there is, please do let me know in the comments. But so this is in Trafalgar. So this is Sharp. He just goes on escapades and adventures. That's the best way I can explain it. Um, Next we have Sharp's Gold. So again, it's Richard Sharp is delighted when, after long months of patrolling duties, he and his regiment are summoned north by Wellington. And north, I think he means north of Spain. Again, a lot of these are set in Spain. The Peninsular War between Napoleon and England and their Spanish allies in the peninsula and in the Iberian Peninsula. Sharp's Fury is the next one in the series. Um, we'll keep going. Sharp's Company is next. Again, I don't know how well these show, but they're really nice, sort of classic covers. I just like these the best. Sharp Sword. Again, all of these are almost in mint condition. This one's got a stamp, unfortunately, from the... But in mint condition, because again, these are display copies. I don't want to read these. I don't want to destroy them. They're so nice. Sharp's Honor. Again, that silly sticker from the used bookshop. Sharp's Regiment. Again, you can see the sort of period that we're talking about, the redcoats in the Napoleonic era. Sharp's Waterloo. You know, we're nearing the end of the series because this is Waterloo and this is where Napoleon is pretty much defeated until he makes his comeback. And then Sharp's Devil, and I think that's about the comeback again. The silly sticker, but I think this one is when Napoleon. Yeah, 5 years after the Battle of Waterloo, Sharp's peaceful retirement in Normandy is shattered. Okay. Something about adventure in Chile. But and I know I'm missing some. This isn't the complete set. There were some of the books of the series I'm missing. But like I said, Julie had talked about having the importance of having one edition. You know, it's nice. It looks nice if you're a collector. It looks nice on the shelves, and for us who are completists, etc. So I hope to complete my collection of the Sharp novels. But like I said, and when I complete them, I don't want to read these. These are just display copies. These nice, the ones I just showed you. But I do have, and I hope, well, let me take them in turn. I do have reading copies. So some of them that we just saw Sharp's Devil. I have it in this edition. This one, I don't know if I have it. I don't recall if I showed this in the... if I have it in the edition, the display edition, but this one is Sharp's Assassin. So these are ones I would like to, I can read and I can mark and I can break and I can tear and I can doggy ear, or I can give away or I can highlight. This is another one. This one is Sharp's Eagle. I think I have it in the display, but this is a reading copy. This is a different edition from the same edition. This one is Sharp's Rifles. Again, I might have duplicates, but these ones I can read. So if Julie, I know she's going through the Sharp series. I think she's doing it alone, but buddy reads. Let me know, Julie. Here's another edition I have. Again, these are reading copies. Again, you can tell me if these are better than the ones that I think are. This one is Sharp's Honor. This one is Sharp's Revenge. This one is Sharp Siege. Some of these I don't think I had in the display edition. There he is, like carrying the French flag. I think he captured the flag. And this one is Sharp's Enemy. And yet more. Here's another edition I have. I just collect these from used bookstores. This one is Sharp's Trafalgar. We saw this. These ones are also nice, but I don't know, these are a bit bigger. Again, I just like those. This one is Sharp's Battle. And this one's actually put the date, so you can see here it's Spain 1811. This next one, Sharp's Escape, is Portugal 1810. I don't know if you can see it, there's a bit of a glare. And then this one, Sharp's Prey. These ones are actually nice too. I don't know, maybe should I collect these? Which one do you think is nice? Do you like to have the same editions? Do you know of any Sharp books that are set in America? Because Sharp was alive in 1812. He must have been alive during the American Revolutionary War. Maybe he was a baby. Also, questions, or if you have anything about the Rory Clements, have you read it? Do you recommend it? Please do let me know. Also, thank you again, Julie. Do check out her channel. Let's get her to 1,000 subscribers. It will be linked below. Thank you very much, BookTube, if you made it this far. I'll wrap this up. Salute.